fights.
I think it's also worth mentioning that Xayah kind of struggles to get lifesteal into her build.
Yeah.
Because she really does need to get either Kraken or Stormrazor, depending on what you choose for. But then afterwards, you need Navori, you need to get some armor shred, and by that stage, 4th item.
Yeah, Eminem does end up going on hit. I get it. It's too hard to resist against this many tanks. Bit of a disco in the top lane.
He does have a Braum for protection, but it is always going to be scary.
Yeah, it will be.
You have to get so close to... I mean, they are tanks, yes, but, you know, depth charge onto a Varus, he can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, you just got to stand and deliver the on-hit Varus.
The Chiefs logo.
See if Gemini goes for his usual just path to bot that he does on blue side. It's starting blue buff, so unless he wants to split the map and try invade Swiper on the rel, we'll probably be just making a play onto bot lane. Not amazing setup. You're pretty much just hoping for a Braum Q to land with Eminem in range to proc the Braum passive for any play to really happen on the bot side. And I'm not entirely sure who's going to have Prio in this bot lane.
Yeah, I think maybe
looks like
sort of
Xayah
start of the lane probably isn't going to be the side of Frank, but I think sort of after level 3, once Braum has his abilities and Varus has his abilities, becomes much more even of a stat stick, a lot harder to
and points in Varus Q, big trade on the Kaiway.
He's getting rooted up. He does hit level 2 now, so we'll be able to put up that shield. But
yeah, gotta feel good about that as Antics now, as I don't imagine Frank are going to get Prio in the spot lane anytime soon.
Yeah, Eminem actually did manage to find a pretty decent trade back onto Dragku at the back end of that, but yeah, for at least the current health pools, it is certainly favoring Antics. They did lose Ignite, so summoner advantage in theory in favor here now of Frank.
Yeah, so I think this has killed any hope of Gemini getting something done in the bot lane, or cross-mapping and invading Swiper, as Swiper's looking for something on the Pretender. Actually invading, but he's walking onto a nice ward. Actually just places some vision for himself.
Yeah, and not surprisingly, it is the Renekton having Prio, at least so far, in this top side.
Takes a tower shot, though.
He did. He does have quite a bit of sustain, as well as just no mana costs against Cassante, who has, especially in the early stages, quite high mana costs.
Both bot lanes recall, and looks like Gemini's just going to take the top crab. Still 30 seconds on the Void Grub spawn. I don't really think he's going to be able to kill the Cassante.
No, I don't think so either.
He's going to maybe try catch these Raptors on spawn.
The Renekton pretty much just does his job later on as soon as these skirmishes come through, and Eminem loses a flash.
Traded for Draku's flash.
Yeah. Of course, this Nautilus with the Hex flash and just being the support.
Yeah, it's not going to be missing his flash.
No, it's feeling pretty good now for the side of Antics. Gemini, though, he's been proactive on the other side, claims himself that big chicken.
I think Swiper got all of the little chickens too, so he's not feeling horrible about that.
No.
Frank's bot lane kind of struggling. Doing okay in farm. Maybe going to have a lot more impact later in the game. Viego Braum feels like a good combo to me. If they can get any 3v3s going. Or dragon fights.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, Renekton can immediately proc a Braum stun as well.
Yeah. Kind of uses his stun to proc it, though. Feels like a waste.
Yeah, even if you don't use the empowered one, though, you just double stun into an auto attack, which just chains the stuns, essentially. It's a bit niche, but certainly wouldn't be too surprised to see it happen at least once.
Well, lane's going even. Zoranus kind of suffering on mana, but he does have cookies. Does Swiper want to contest this? There is so much Prio in the top lane. He actually goes on Pretender.
Yeah, and Pretender has no mana. Ryoma now does hit over to 6, so we'll have that Mimic, but Pretender being far enough away, he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, there was level 6 on the Ahri as well.
I just didn't know if he had mana for it.
Yeah.
Actually has a Null Magic Mantle, so most likely we're going to see a Merc Tread rush here.
Yeah, Merc Treads don't feel as good as they do against, you know, some skill shot champs. LeBlanc not doing a lot of her trades with skill shots, right?
Yeah, but I think against Ahri you do a reasonable amount of them, just simply because you can't really W onto the Ahri. Unless
yeah, fair.
So a lot of the trade does come through from the chain.
Zoran is pretty low, but Gemini is pathing bot, so he should be fine under his turret. Is falling behind a bit in CS, but he's a Cassante. I think he'll be okay.
Draku very close there on that dredge line. Won't connect though, and now Winter's Bite also goes wide, but still gonna land that Braum passive. Draku taking a sizable chunk of his health. Eminem, he's stunned up, he's rooted from that Blade Caller. Now he's trying to run away. No flash, no ghost available, and it should be Swiper who picks up first blood here up against Frank. Even the Blade Caller again coming through from King. But Braum puts up that shield and is able to just get away.
Yeah, living on single-digit HP there, I think, the Braum, but the Antic spot lane has been really impressive so far. Just straight up winning in the 2v2. Swiper shows up well before Gemini and cleans up a kill. Almost gets a second.
Now, priority top will be in favor of Zoranus for now, but Jiang has not recalled as of yet. Should be able to find one now. Clears out that minion wave with that Color the Meek, and we'll see what he can pick up. It's the Bramble Vest first here for the Cassante. And I honestly remember back in spring of last year as well, this matchup we saw quite a lot back then. And there's always the argument of, is the Bramble really worth it against the Renekton? Because the Renekton actually doesn't have to auto-attack you to get his healing. Rama finds a nice trade here in the mid lane.
Yeah, in the Braum's face, I guess there's not much Braum can really do. Eminem has to dodge a hook.
No, some still. He's very close. Nice dodge. Fancy feet there. Gets out of harm's way. Trades back some damage. Gemini's here. Flash forward. Lands that stun. Draku, he is going to be taken out. It's Eminem who claims that kill. So a quick answer back in the bottom lane even for Eminem and the side of Frank.
Yeah, Draku not able to get out of there in time after the hook goes just slightly wide.
All chain of corruption. Cleanse immediately from King, so he's going to be alright, but Summoner now down.
So far, Dragon and Void Grubs both going to Frank. Just that first blood going Antic's way. Ryoma building himself up a decent CS lead in the mid lane.
Certainly has. Kind of the same CS lead as we see in the top lane.
Yeah.
So
pretty impressive. He did have counter pick, but Pretender is one of our better laners in the mid lane. Maybe just by virtue of his champion pool being
strong laners.
Mostly Orianna and Nico.
Yeah, and Karma.
Yeah, Karma.
He does set himself up to win some lanes. Demolish here.
Oh, half HP almost on the top tower for Jiang.
Yeah. He's having a pretty good time for himself. Certainly wouldn't be surprised to see that he has the most gold in the map currently. Sure we'll see soon.
Yeah, even with the kill on Pretender, he's got so many plates.
Yeah.
At farm. So when does this get better for Frank's bot lane? Because maybe a play mid? Both these mid laners so mobile though. Hard for any straight up fight to happen. In the 2v2 anyway.
Swiper's still hovering around this mid wave, and Jiang going to find himself another plate here in the top side. Looks like he'll be going for the Sundered Sky. No, actually, I take that back. Black Cleaver.
Yeah, the newly buffed Black Cleaver.
Obviously going to help him cut through some of that armor of the Cassante. Kind of weaker though when he is in the skirmishes if he's up against King or Ryoma.
Maybe 6 Void Grubs going over to Frank. It probably will be since Swiper is nowhere near. Might try and make a cross-map play onto bot lane.
Yeah, but with Braum, it feels pretty undiveable, and Eminem now finally has both of his sums available.
Yeah, Frank seemed to be aware of exactly where Swiper is. They've spammed assist pings onto him.
And it might actually just be Zoranus who's in trouble. He's half HP. King even in trouble. Ghost out of Eminem. Chain of Corruption clearly landed. And Featherstorm gonna have to be used there to keep King alive in this instance. Stun coming through there. And it's just gonna be Jung taking that one. Gemini even getting the reset. Ryoma coming in. He's half HP. And there's a Cassante now. Oh, and Jung's gonna pick himself up yet another.
Yeah, Ryoma showed up at half HP and just gets flashed on by Jiang and insta-killed. Renekton is still nothing to mess with in the early game. I wonder what happened. Was Ryoma just half HP, or did maybe Pretender find a trade onto him? He probably would have charmed him if he did.
Yeah, you'd think so. Or maybe he knew he couldn't kill Ryoma, but they'd said that they can up top, you know, bit of coordination.
No way.
Perhaps.
I think he was just half HP. I think he was just randomly half HP.
Yeah,
just from
landing.
trades.
Yeah.
And then
Either way.
isn't expecting... I think Gemini was super tanky because he picked up the Cassante off his reset, which enabled that dive. Maybe they can't do it with just a Viego's health bar. So, super decisive from Frank here. They just walk up, stun Zoranus, follow up with the Viego stun, and just one-shot him.
Yeah, he didn't get the W off at any point of that.
Yeah, Gemini gets the reset here, and he can tank the turret. And yeah, Jung flashes to follow up.
Yeah, really decisive play.
Oh my god.
I think that could go a whole lot better. Well, maybe not better. I think ultimately Zoranus will still go down, but he would have survived a lot longer if he was able to get that Pathmaker off. Fire coming out bot. Dredge line lands. There's going to be depth charge as well onto Eminem. He's kiting though. Draku's getting low. Kaiwing is going to escape only just, and now Swiper slowly running around, but Gemini's come down, Pretender has come down as well. That's one, that's two. Ari out of nowhere's found kills, and Gemini is the best Nautilus on the server as they collect 3 down on the bot side.
Yeah, Frank just with a ridiculous pace, somehow getting 4 people down here in the bot lane. Antics, it feels like they're maybe making a cross map, but it's just a little too slow, and Pretender with Prio in the mid lane gets down here. I think Ryoma was in base, or he just took the base then. And Eminem traded back so much damage onto Draku that he forces out his flash in the 2v3.
Yeah, and honestly, Kaiwing just stayed alive for so long.
Yeah.
Just reducing so much damage.
Yeah, so did it just start with a hook maybe onto Kaiwing?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, hook onto Kaiwing. And they can't really walk up and hit because the Verisol is zoning King. He has to walk out of the Verisol first before he can hit here. And in the meantime, Eminem's almost killed Draku, and then somehow Gemini is behind them. And he dodges the Nautilus hook with his W and then picks up the Nautilus and hooks King. King not ready to flash out of that one.
Yeah, ridiculous play out of Gemini in both top and bottom. I don't know what they're saying, but they seem happy.
Yeah.
No reason not to be.
Yeah, six kills to 1 now, almost 5k gold lead.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, just a couple plays.
Swiper picking up the first blood, and then, yeah, out of 2 swift plays, really, it was just 6 quick kills found by Frank. And with that, now a 5k gold lead. Of course, still not insurmountable, but this early on in the game definitely feels hard to try and find a way to overcome.
Yeah.
You do have champions, though, that can find things out of nowhere. I mean, LeBlanc, one of the premier assassins that just randomly getting a kill in a side lane onto someone.
Yeah, against a lot of targets that he can kill fairly easily. The Varus, the Ahri, and the Viego. Probably not going to be killing the Renekton anytime soon.
Yeah, the proc's a bit strong. Even going for the Merc Treads this game. I mean, there is just a lot of CC.
Yeah,
now,
two dragons. Yeah.
Gonna see another Mountain Dragon. There's now 10 minutes time, assuming Frank are able to pick up the next one, that it will be that Dragon Soul win condition on the table. And I'll say one thing is that Frank look a whole hell of a lot different with Eminem compared to no Eminem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely good to have Eminem back. just a lot more decisive, a bit bumpy in the early laning phase.
Yeah, but I think with how much pressure they were facing, if it was Pretender once again playing the AD carry role, I don't think they'd be up CS and surviving a lot of those ganks.
Yeah, he's somehow up CS, which is pretty impressive. And it's gone from Antics feeling like they were winning 2 lanes to just instantly down 5k.
Oh, hook lands here. Blade Puller as well. It's going to be good. The knockout Pretender. Flash, Spirit Rush, Ignites, burning, but it won't burn enough. And down will come Jiang. He slices and dices straight back into his tower with Zoranus teleporting in. Ryoma's here as well. And all of a sudden, though, it's reset number 1. Hook connects. It's going to be reset number 2. Oh, no, it's not. It is a double kill, but King's able to answer back for at least 1. Zoranus does go down now. Pretender, he's teleported back, but Jiang's unfazed. He's just standing there tanking up everything. Charm will connect. It's a 4v5 in the bottom side, and it's a 4v5 won by Frank Esports.
Yeah, Frank just decided to handshake essentially a 3v5 because Pretender is forced out of that fight at the very beginning. Antics can't catch a break. He lives the last tick of Ignite on single-digit HP. Jiang is so massive on the Renekton that, yeah, he just has so much impact in these early fights. Gemini is very fed as well. And, I mean, this was a really nice hook from Draku, and we're going to see a not as nice hook a little bit later that kind of allows Frank to turn on them. Jiang is looking intimidating here, but has to just get out of there. And this hook from Draku spells his doom.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, spells his doom, and then Gemini gets a reset onto a Nautilus of all champions as well. Lets him follow up a kill. Luckily goes down. But yeah, once the TP comes through from Pretender, Eminem not even interested in showing up to this fight. Just not going to participate in the shenanigans. Does he get the tier 2 mid while that's happening?
I don't think
No, he doesn't quite.
No, I didn't think so.
But it is a tier 2 bot because they have Rift Herald to drop after the play.
Oh, okay. I like Swiper's build, the Knight's Vow again.
Yeah, Knight's Vow gained a lot of popularity recently.
Yeah, we saw it in one of our series yesterday, and then I believe the next game we didn't. We saw just the Frozen Heart again.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, massive Magnustorm. It's 3-man. Through will come that dredge line. It's landing onto Eminem, and Ryoma comes through. He doesn't connect with the chain, but it will be King who finds the shutdown. Zaya getting some gold now, and Kai Wing's not long for this world either, as Ryoma will claim that one, and out of nowhere, life back for Antics.
Swips just out of nowhere, wakes up, finds a 3-man flash engage on the rel. Jiang is taking an inhib turret. I don't think he'll take the inhib or even go for it.
King, oh, not quite landing the root there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Antics can't get much but the kills. And I'm not sure if Eminem really had any shutdown on him.
Jiang is behind.
No cleanse on King, but does have ulti.
He does Featherstorm out there. So it won't be any more follow-up from that. But it is a big cooldown, of course. King, especially now that he's got that shutdown, he's going to be very integral if Antics are to find success going on into this game. Of course, it is still a 9k gold lead in favor of Frank, but the gold that you have acquired here for Antics is on to the right people.
Yeah. Yeah, you're glad to have it on the Zaya and the LB. But with Dragon coming up in 30 seconds, it's going to be really difficult for Swiper to pull off another miracle engage like that. Though.
Sure. No sums though now for Eminem, and so he is quite vulnerable.
Yeah, very vulnerable, especially against the Nautilus.
I do worry about this Croc though.
No flash on any member of Frank.
All right, he's 1v3. We've seen him pull it off before. Does he have the dominance? He does. He's going to pop it now. There's a lot of CC, but there's not a lot of damage. Jiang's living. Is he going to be able to turn anything around? He gets a bit of health back there from the Color of the Week. Ryoma, though, he's dodging out. He's not going to be found. It's a shutdown once again onto King on the Zaya. 650 gold picked up there for that one. It took a while,
Dragon
but again, the right person getting all the gold.
Yeah, Dragon is up. No TP quite yet for Pretender. Kind of want to see Antics go for this Dragon, but I guess they feel like they used too many cooldowns there. Ryoma's a bit low. But with TP up on Zoranus, I'm surprised they don't go for this Dragon.
You're not going to be able to find that. Has King recalled? I'm not sure, but he must be awfully close to picking up that Navori if he hasn't. He's recalling now. So I imagine he's going to have the Navori. So King certainly has the tools he needs personally to find some impact in these team fights.
Yeah.
It's now really up to this front line. Can they survive long enough to allow him to do that damage?
Yeah, he's got plenty of front line. And Ryoma's going to do his best to disrupt Frank's backline. Not let them follow up any damage onto King if he does get targeted in these fights.
Sure.
And this could be a very scary Xayah. This is a squishy team comp from the side of Frank. Even Renekton will go down pretty quickly to this Xayah. Plenty of lockdown to enable her as well. Antics grouping around Baron. Pretender spam pinging the inhib.
Yeah, he doesn't have Lich Bane, which is something that Aries have been picking up quite a lot, at least in solo queue. Swiper, is he going to be able to get that crash down over the wall? Yes, he will. So with that, he should be okay. But now it's going to be the Baron started up. Your Rel, your jungler, is at about a third HP. Everyone is around here, though, and in the meanwhile, Pretender's going to claim himself an inhib. There's a big minion wave, too, and he does have teleport. So Frank R4v5, Pretender's going to teleport in. He's found a nice flank ward. It's going to be matched here, though. Zorinus as well coming here to the fight. Draku finds a 3-man knock up there with that death charge. Swiper coming in with the Magnet Storm. He finds a 3-man stun. King, though, he's getting looked at by Pretender. Pretender with all the moves. He's going to be dipping and diving, and he's going to be living. It won't be King in this team fight. It's going to be all Frank as they find the ace for 0. Baron is going to be started. Teleport coming through from Jiang onto that bot lane. They're looking for the end. I'm not sure they'll have it yet, but they have all the cards to play in future fights.
Yeah, I think 12 seconds on Swiper, so he can probably show up and stop Jiang here. He's already proc Demolish. And Pretender engages that fight essentially by TPing into the middle of them and flashing out. Struggle to finish.
We've almost died.
The Baron, but they do end up getting it. And he just, after TPing in, Pretender just isolates King in the backline and takes him out solo. Lands a very nice charm onto him. Xayah really has a hard time getting any good Feather Coaler value onto the Ahri. So yeah, instantly TP's in and flashes out, and then he just goes straight onto King. Lands a nice charm. And Zorinus maybe had to stay with King here to peel the Ahri off of him.
Yeah, that was a really nice Feather Storm.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was Pretender just sticking around and making sure King wasn't able to actually focus on those clumped members of Frank that really saved the day.
Yeah, I think they found a really good engage, honestly, and a lot of CC onto Frank as
Charm comes through. This is Zorinus. This is supposed to be a tank, and he's got no HP left. Gemini going through with that Heartbreaker. He's going to pick up at least one of the kills. Charm lands now onto Ryoma some way, somehow, and now Swiper's next. It's 3 found. There's 2 open inhibs. One, in fact, is already taken out. And now 5 members strong here for the side of Frank are looking to put an end to this game.
Yeah, I think they might be able to do it on this push.
Yeah, 1 Nexus Tower, Demolish available. It's going to be taken out. King and Dragku versus 5. Featherstorm comes out early. He's not going to be able to find anything from here on. Jiang's able to find the stun, finds the Dominus. He was in the fountain for a little bit, but ultimately is going to end up living. And even once again, just before the Nexus is felled, they take down Dragku for good measure.